That awkward moment tells the story of a group of three friends after which one gets a divorce, that they decide to live the very typical single life. And it delves into how this mindset is sought after by a lot of men, but things just don't pan out in that way. Furthermore, the very title of the film has a large significance in what the film is really trying to tell. That awkward moment refers to two things. One, something referred to as the so moment, when one's girlfriend says the word so and discusses the very situation of the relationship, but really the significance of the title is the awkward moment that these three main characters are currently experiencing in their lives, and the very awkward phase of their life in general, told through three very different stories, is what made for what I believe is one of the most entertaining films I've seen in a while. At one extreme, you have Michael B. Jordan's character, who is just undergoing a divorce, and how he tries to get over that and move forward. In the middle of it, really, you have Miles Teller's character, and how he's sort of in a relationship with a woman and he's trying to figure things out. It's rather complicated. And at the other end of the spectrum, you have Zac Efron's character, who is by no means in the mood for a commitment, and how these three people ultimately learn about love, and how the various different situations run parallel to one another after a point, how their lives kind of interplay with one another's, not to a large extent, but definitely to a certain extent, and how these contrasted ideas of what each person believes a relationship is and a relationship should be kind of make for what the film is trying to say. Because everyone in this film has a different perspective on life and on love in general, and to see these contrasts presented not so overbearingly, but rather in a more subtle manner through the story itself, was something that I found very interesting and very thought-provoking. Backed up by great performances and what I would describe as great writing, the characters really managed to be fleshed out from the get-go alone, making this journey far more relatable to a certain extent, and certainly more enjoyable, and in fact believable. The conversations that these people have, and the journey that they go through, rarely does it feel, except for towards the end, kind of overblown and over-dramatized. Rather, it feels very grounded in reality, very natural, and it has an extremely well-constructed and progressive flow. I would describe the humor as intelligent. Rather, it comes, one, out of the situation, and secondly, out of the characters in general, and a lot of the jokes aren't presented to you at face value. There are more inherent with what the story is trying to say, and I thought they were very well executed, though there are certain times where the humor does almost borderline disgusting and the character's behavior is not particularly likable, thereby reducing the overall quality of the humor, which is still great to a certain extent. Furthermore, the film has this kind of originality about it. Like, I don't think that they are copying off a lot of different elements that I've seen in other films. Rather, there's a bit of freshness and an exuberant amount of energy that the film has that really made me enjoy it in a surprisingly short runtime, considering the amount that the film managed to pack in. The film also manages to delve into the bigger picture of the relationships, and at the same time the various little subtleties that constitute a relationship, making it almost a bit of an interesting study into the psychology of men and women when it comes to relationships, more so men in this particular case, but the different and almost contrasting perspectives of men that they have when it comes to approaching their various relationships. That Awkward Moment is definitely an enjoyable film. I personally really had fun with it. I thought it was extremely hilarious. It felt very natural, minus maybe the last 10 minutes. Nonetheless, That Awkward Moment is a film that I would recommend, and I'm going to give That Awkward Moment a double yes.